welcome back to the Broken Farm. My name is BJ and Shawn is over there. He is already hard at work, so you'll see him in a minute. The last time we did some videoing, I told you that we were going to have an electrician come out and help Shawn with some of the wiring that was kind of messed up, and just it was hard to figure out because the wires are not exposed. It was in kind of the back room, our laundry room area, and he needed to access those wires because he was going to put some lights on the outside of our screen back door, if that makes any sense, and also the grill area. So that was on Sunday, and he did come out, and they spent a good part of the day working on all that wiring, and they got it all straightened out. So let me turn this camera around. I'm going to show you what Shawn did yesterday, because what they did is they straightened out the wiring, and then yesterday Shawn installed a couple lights for us. So let me turn this around and show you the lights that he did. Good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday. It's July 7th, I think? No, 6th. And this morning I brought the chicks, outside for a little playtime action in their little pen, and Harley has not been able to leave their side. I think she's doing a really good job. At first she was super excited and she was running circles around the pen, kind of driving the chickens a little bit crazy, but now she's kind of calmed down and she's just been watching them. Maverick was over here earlier and he's lost interest. He wants to play with Harley, but Harley has nothing that she wants to do with him because all she wants to do is watch the chicks. So hopefully this is a good sign. We're going to try to bring them out every day for a little bit and get them used to the dogs and get the dogs used to them. And so I'm going to show you what Shawn did yesterday and what he's already working on today. I am not going to be doing very much today here because my MacBook and my iPad have totally decided to not work for me right now. So the girls and I are going to run into town and we're going to take it to the Apple store to see if they can help us fix it. And in addition to that, we have to run by their high school because I need to get attendance verification so they can get their permit. I think I mentioned I was going to take Bailey a few days ago, and we got there and realized we didn't have that form. So that's on the agenda. And then it's also Wednesday, it's our CSA pickup day, so we're going to do that. So I'm going to turn this camera around and show you the barbecue grill area that Shawn worked on yesterday. So yesterday he finished leveling out all of the pavers for the area. We brought the cook stove over here, and I think this is going to be really helpful for me to be able to use this a little bit more out here, and it doesn't look so weird on the front porch. And then he just now brought these rocks over here and dumped them with the tractor and then put them into place. So I think it looks really good and not bad for 8:30 in the morning. Good morning. It is Friday today and it's early. It's about 7:30, and the name of the game today is storage unit. If you have been following us along our journey for a little while, I've talked a couple times about how we have a storage unit and we still have a lot of things in there. So today we've decided we're going to take the day, we're trying to get an early start, and go over there and get a load of things to bring here to the farm. So we're supposed to get some rain at some point today. I can't remember what Shawn said. I want to say he said around 11. So we're trying to beat the rain. He's getting the truck ready and the trailer ready. We're going to drive my car. Actually, Natalie's driving my car. She's done a lot of driving lately. And we're going to get as much stuff as we can here and then try to get most of it upstairs in that kind of like where our storage is up there. It's gonna take some rearranging though, so that we have room for it all. So when we get it here, we're gonna go and we're gonna try to rearrange up there. Hopefully it won't be too hot up there so we can get it all in. So that's what we're doing. And here's a quick peek on how the chicks are doing. I can't have this open too long because they start flying out. but I added a couple branches in here just to give them a little place to roost, and they like to, as you can see. But they're getting big. They're getting big. Who's gonna be the first one to fly out? Oh, there you go. All right, let me get these guys back in. Taking you into the storage area upstairs to show you what it looks like after we moved all of our stuff from the storage unit. Well, we didn't get it all. I don't know if I mentioned, there is one more truckload there, so one of these days we have to go get the truckload. There's also our sofa that we're probably going to end up having to take to Goodwill, and there's 2 giant bean bags that the kids had in their 2 out of the 4 had in their bedroom when we had our last house, which had ginormous bedrooms, and so the kids were able to have those oversized big sack bean bags, and obviously this house is not oversized, so we are going to try to get those back to our son Jack, because he is probably moving into an apartment and he can use those. So anyways, this is one room. This is just a mess I gotta figure out what to do with. Our Christmas decorations are primarily over here. There's a little bit of method to this madness, not much. More stuff here. And then this front room. Here's our wardrobe boxes. These are wardrobe boxes that have our clothes from our closet. So when I start back to work, that's where my clothes is coming out of. And then we've got all of this stuff. This is mostly like our pantry stuff. So all of my jars got moved there, and more storage stuff here. And then up front here, we've got kind of more stuff. So there's my shoe racks, our bar stools that we have no place for. That's all of our moving blankets. And that's the mess that's up here, but we keep these fans going so it keeps the air circulating up here. So we have enough room left for the little bit that's left at our storage unit, I think. Hey there, welcome back. Today is Monday, it's July 11th, and I want to go ahead and close out our video for this week. But before I do, I wanted to give you a couple updates because I haven't videoed every single day, so I did want to tell you some of the things that we got done. If you can see behind me, Shawn is actually out there. He is mowing the field. That's our big 3-acre field there, and he used the riding mower today and mowed it. Our goal kind of with that area is we want to make it look like our yard, and so he decided to use the riding mower rather than the bush hog to make it a nicer finished cut. So he's been down there all day mowing that field, and he still has to do this front area, and then he's going to do the immediate little front yard here. So he's still got some more work to do. I think he said he was hoping to get done by 4 today, and it's 3:53, so I don't think he's gonna get it done. But he's been working hard all day today. And here's a couple of the things that we've been considering that I want to get your opinion on. And some of this is just gonna be for fellow chicken owners, and some of it's gonna be for just people who have an opinion. So yesterday, if you follow us on Instagram, I posted a little video. We brought the chicks out here to this little playpen. I want to do it every day, but I'm not at the point where I'm ready to trust them. So if they're in here, I have been sitting out on the porch just watching them. There's a couple. We have, let's see. When we got our chicks, we got 11 of them all at one time, and they're all about the same size. And then like 3 or 4 days later, I went back and got 4 more, and those guys are a little bit smaller than the first bunch. So with regard to my little makeshift, this is hardware cloth right here, and I ran out of it for the whole thing, so I used this. This is just kind of like a I don't know, it's like a mesh that was actually separating some pavers that we had bought. I used that to kind of plug up these holes, and there's a couple little spots that some of those smaller chicks have squeezed out of. So I can't bring them out here unless I'm able to just sit and watch them the whole time. So yesterday we did that in the evening, and we also brought out all 3 dogs, and they did great. All of the dogs did great together. Like I said, Coco's just not, she's not loving Maverick and Harley, but they all 3 coexisted on the porch and down here with the chickens just fine yesterday. It was really nice. So we plan to do that again today, this evening. So that kind of got me thinking, and I actually woke up in the middle of the night last night and I couldn't sleep because a week or so ago, after I told you we had put a chicken coop on order, Shawn brought up the idea of putting the chicken coop over there, kind of by my garden, because he was, you know, reading up on chickens and stuff, and he was saying that a lot of people say that you know, you can sit and watch chickens for hours, and you want them to be somewhere that you can see them, and all of that. And now, okay, so this is a huge jungle right now. So imagine it beautiful, okay? Because eventually it will be, but like I said, not right now. That's not the high priority. But anyways, this is kind of one of the spots that Shawn had thrown out there as a suggestion for a different place to put the chicken coop, because if you know, we have kind of got a spot secured in the back of the house for the chicken coop. But he threw this out there as an alternative place because it's fairly close to the house, and sitting on the porch, if the chicken coop was there, we could sit on the porch and watch the chickens in the chicken coop. So it would essentially be, I don't think we would want it here, like right up close, because that window right there is our bedroom window. So we don't want it that close to it. But down here, there's kind of a step down, and you can't see it because this is like a jungle. But essentially this area right here would all be cleaned up. All of that would be burned, and this would be the area for the chicken coop and run. It would obviously be near my garden, so before we were ever able to free range chickens and all of that, we would have to put a fence around my garden so that the chickens could not just go in there and eat everything. So knowing that, we know that that would require us to put up a fence around the garden sooner rather than later, and clean up all of this, which is another big job. That is kind of what kind of got me thinking in the middle of the night and not able to sleep, because I was wondering, gosh, do we want it up here? Because yesterday was so nice sitting on the porch up there, being able to watch the dogs and watch the chickens, but the chickens aren't always going to be in that playpen in our front yard. So that's something that I'm kind of throwing out there as, what would you do? What would you do? Where would you put the chicken coop if you had the option? I'll take you around back and show you the place that we've kind of already slated as the spot for the chicken coop. And then I'll get into the other dilemma that we have. So I'm walking around here to the back, and I'm taking you over because if you watched our other videos, and even I think a little bit in this video maybe, we cleared out a second, kind of like a second layer area for the chicken coop, and now Shawn wants it back up on the higher ground. So his truck's all in the way here, but anyways, let me turn this here so you can see. This area right here was where Shawn had originally cleared for the chicken coop. I said no, I wanted it down a little bit lower down there, so they cleared that area for the chicken coop right there, and now Shawn's back to wanting it up here. So this would be the area. Now this right here, this tree, is an ornamental Bradford pear tree. So it does produce fruit, but it's not edible for humans, but apparently chickens love it. So that's why one of the main reasons that I want the chicken coop back here is because of that tree. It will provide shade for them. This area is pretty well shaded most of the day. We do plan to have a tarp over the run, so regardless of where it is, they'll have shade, but this tree also provides a lot more shade. So this was originally where we said we would have it, but it is in the back of the house, so it's not exactly a spot where, you know, I mean, we could always put a bench out here, I guess, but we just don't, you know, we're not going to sit on the back porch because we don't have a back porch and watch the chickens here. So that is one of the dilemmas. The other dilemma that we have is, I think I mentioned earlier in this video that we did order a chicken coop, and we ordered it, let's see, a little over a week ago. And when we ordered it, they said it was going to take 6 to 8 weeks. She said probably 6 weeks. So one of the things I kind of forgot is that I go back to work in 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks? No, I go back to work in a week. Wait, let me think about that. No, I go back to work in 2 weeks. So I have 2 days that I have to do for new teacher orientation next week, because I'm new to a new county, and whenever you go to a new county, you have to do all of their new teacher orientation. So 2 days of that is next week, and then I'm back to work the full time after that. Shawn has about, how many weeks does he have? 3. Shawn has about 4 weeks until he's back to work. But that leaves anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks before our coop is ready that we are back to work full time and the girls are back in school. So what that means for us is we're gonna have to figure out what to do with the chickens, because they're living in this brooder inside and they're getting big, so they're not gonna be able to stay in the brooder for very much longer. I watched a YouTube video from Gilbrook Farms, and she was talking about how they care for their baby chicks. And one of the things that she suggested was getting a watermelon box. That's how they keep them before they put them outside. So I did get a watermelon box. It's, you know, it's the big box that they keep watermelons in at the grocery store. So I have one of those, and we can put that inside of our laundry room for the chicks. We will probably have to do that in the next week or so, because they are getting too big for the brooder that they're in. So I feel like I'm out of breath. Let me tell you all of our problems. So here's the issue. We bought this poultry pen. Okay, let me show it to you here. That is exactly what the dogs are in right now. So at night we put the dogs in that pen right there. And we bought another one for the chicken run. So that's gonna be a run that we're gonna put together tomorrow, and it will be out here for the chickens. So I can bring them out during the day and put them in there. We're gonna put hardware cloth around the bottom so they can't, you know, get out. And then the dogs have been so good about, like, Harley, all she wants to do is sit and watch the chickens. So they will help protect them during the day. But we can put the chickens in that run during the day while we're at work. But we're gonna have to bring them in to that watermelon box at night. And I can tell you that my stress is thinking about in the morning when I'm getting ready and trying to get the girls off to school and trying to start, you know, a brand new school year. And my mornings, I try to make my mornings as less stress as possible. And with the idea of having to take care of 15 chickens, putting them, you know, getting them out of a brooder in the morning and putting them in a run every single morning before 6 o'clock in the morning, that stresses me out. So we're not exactly sure what to do. We actually called the place. I called the place that we bought our chicken coop from, and I asked them if they got any new ones in, because she said that they didn't know what they were getting in. She said they didn't yet, but they're getting some new coops in probably on Thursday. And she said if we go in on Friday and we see something else we like better, she can switch our order over. So we're kind of crossing our fingers that when we go back there on Friday, they will have gotten something in that will fit what we're wanting, and we don't have to wait the 6 weeks to have one special ordered. So that's kind of where we are. That's the decision making. Number one, where do we want the coop? And number two, what can we do with that 2 to 3 week time where we're in between having a coop for the chickens and we're going back to work? So if you have any suggestions, you're a fellow chicken owner and you got any great ideas on what we can do to keep them until their coop is in, please let us know. Shawn is coming up here now. I hear the mower, it's getting louder. So he is either finished mowing or he needs more gas or he needs water. I don't know. Actually, look, I'm looking at him right now. It looks like he's getting ready to mow the front yard. So I've got to go over and get that playpen area cleaned up and out of there so he can mow. And I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video for this week. We will let you know. Please put in comments, suggestions, anything that you have for our chickens. We would appreciate it. And we will let you know what we get into next week. All right, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. All right, real quick before I cut this video off, I didn't end up showing the finished light. So this is the wire, and Shawn plans to hide that. Says he has some really great plans for what he's gonna do to hide that, but that's one of the lights. So let's see. No, that's not it. Let me turn it on real quick. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So that's one of the lights, and then it also, we have the light outside. I think I showed that already. And then this one he just installed yesterday, and it's nice and bright in here. I love a bright light. It looks like it's not level with the ceiling, but the ceiling's not level. So once we straighten out the ceiling, the light will be flush with the ceiling. So it's much better than the simple light bulb that it was before.